One bright morning, Yellow Duck and his friends, White Rabbit, Brown Squirrel,
and Green Frog set off on a grand adventure, floating down a long, winding river. The water was surprisingly swift, flowing faster and faster until, before they knew it,
the strong current had whisked them far away from their familiar forest home.
Suddenly, with a gentle bump, their journey came to a stop. They found themselves stranded on the banks of a bustling, noisy city. Cars whizzed past them like giant metal beetles. Towering buildings scraped the sky, and the constant blare of horns made their little hearts jump. Yellow Duck spun around, his eyes wide with confusion. Guys, where are we? I don't see any trees or lakes anymore, he said, his voice trembling just a little.
White Rabbit squinted at a massive sign that read, "Welcome to the Great City," and nervously scratched behind his long ears.
Wow, he muttered. We're totally lost.
Brown Squirrel gazed up at the strange, hazy sky.
I miss our cozy, tree-filled home. He sighed, his fluffy tail drooping. Determined to find their way back, they started walking along the hard, dry sidewalk, their eyes searching for any sign that pointed toward the forest. Green Frog, ever the optimist, hopped ahead. Let's ask a human for help, he suggested cheerfully. Bat Houston, a tall human, rushed past, his face buried in a glowing phone, completely unaware of the four little creatures at his feet.
They quickly scurried back.
It seems like everyone here is very busy, said Yellow Duck, feeling a bit discouraged. They huddled together, finally finding refuge behind a large, smelly trash can, trying to figure out a plan. As daylight faded and the city lights began to twinkle, a new figure appeared from the shadows.
It was a sleek, gray street cat with wise, green eyes.
Are you lost? The cat asked, his voice surprisingly soft and kind.
Yes, Yellow Duck replied sadly, his yellow feathers drooping.
We don't know the way back to the forest.
The cat offered a gentle, reassuring smile. Don't be afraid.
I know a thing or two about this city. I'll help you find your way out, with their new guide leading the way.
They followed the cat through a maze of small alleys, lit only by dim, flickering lights. Their city adventure was full of unexpected challenges.
A motorcycle zipped past, nearly clipping Green Frog's toes.
They had to carefully cross busy streets, waiting for the giant walking green light.
They even passed a noisy night market, filled with strange smells and loud music that was so different from the quiet hum of the forest. Yellow Duck bravely held White Rabbit's hand. I'm scared, he whispered, but we have to be strong for each other. The street cat kept them moving forward, his calm presence a beacon of hope. Just a little bit more, he encouraged them. At the end of this city, there's a large park.
From there, you can find your way back to the river. Finally,
they emerged from the concrete jungle and stepped into the peaceful quiet of the park. It was filled with tall, familiar trees, and the gentle sound of a fountain soothed their weary hearts.
Without a moment's hesitation, Brown Squirrel scurried up the tallest tree he could find.
He reached the top, peered into the distance, and shouted down with joy, I see it! I see the river in the distance. Everyone cheered, a wave of relief washing over them. They hugged and danced, their spirits soaring. Yellow Duck turned to their guide with immense gratitude. Thank you, he chirped. You're our savior. We will never ever forget you.
The street cat simply smiled, a warm and knowing look in his eyes.
Be safe on your journey home, little friends. With renewed vigor and a clear path ahead, they followed the familiar curve of the river, heading back toward the forest. As Tay walked, the dark sky began to lighten, and the warm morning sun rose to welcome them home. When they finally arrived back at their beloved spot by the river, they fell into a big group hug, overjoyed to be safe and sound. Yellow Duck looked up at the clear blue sky, a new understanding in his heart. Now I know, he said to his friends. Even if we get lost in the biggest, scariest city, friendship and courage will always lead us home.